Welcome to the second lesson in our rent-to-own housing educational series on how you can qualify for our program. My name is Mike Parker and I'm with Progressive Real Estate Solutions, a rent-to-own housing company based in Barrie, Ontario. So what do we look at? The first thing we look at is what's your down payment? What do you have up front that you're able to put into the rent-to-own deal? Our current minimum down payment requirement is 2.5%. So if you're looking at a $200,000 property, you would need a minimum of $5,000 to get into the program. Now, keep in mind, you do get this back as a credit whenever you purchase the property at the end of the rent-to-own term. Why do you need the down payment? Well, you will need a minimum of 5% to qualify for your own financing at the end of the term. So the 2.5% that you put in up front does allow you to keep your payments lower, and it does help ensure that you will have your 5% down at the end of the term. The second reason is that there is some security for the investor. Keep in mind the investor is going out and purchasing the property that you wish to rent to own, and with our program you do have the flexibility to pick the home of your choice. The investor will have to put 20% down. So really, by you putting 2.5% in, they know that you're serious about completing this contract. So what do we look at? Well, we look at your willingness to make payments and your past credit. And we can be flexible on this. Obviously, if you have bumpy credit or no established credit, that's part of the program purpose, is that whenever you can't qualify from a bank perspective, that's whenever we can help you. So we are flexible on that side. Your ability to make your payments and your income, that's where we can't be flexible. And the reason for that, well, obviously we need to make sure you're going to be able to pay each month. And secondly, we want to be able to make sure that you're going to qualify for your own financing at the end of the term. So your credit. We're flexible in terms of your credit, but it's very important that over the rent-to-own term that you are working on improving your credit score or your Beacon score. Now our target range is to get you into a minimum of 650, and that will help ensure that you can get your own financing. Now we're flexible with your credit rating. The bank is not flexible with your credit rating. That's why it's very important over the term that we help you fix your credit score. And again, we try to get you up to a minimum of 650. So your income, your ability to make payments, eligible income, there's a list of things here and I'm not going to go through them all, but obviously permanent full-time employment, permanent part-time or secondary employment, your overtime would be eligible, pension income, parental leave, support payments, permanent disability income, and ineligible income would be social assistance, employment insurance, family allowance, and some projected income. There are others, but again, I'm not going to go through them all, but these are some of the eligible and ineligible incomes that we would look at in terms of your qualification. Your debt ratios, your debt service ratios, we look at this similar to a bank. And they look at the relationship between your income and your debt, including your projected rent-to-own payment. Now why? Why do we do this? Well, it confirms that your affordability. Can you get into this property and will you be able to afford it each month? Is it something that in the future, whenever you purchase the property, whenever the bank does the exact same thing, are you going to qualify based on your debt service ratios? So how do we calculate this? It's basically a calculation of your total debt versus your income. So on the top side there, you can see bank and other loans, plus your credit card payments, car payments, support payments, and your forecasted rent-to-own payment with our program, plus heating. We divide that by your total gross household income, or your income before taxes, and that's going to give us a number. So taking a look at this example on your total debt ratio, on the top there you can see a car payment, for example, of $350 a month, credit card $150, a forecasted rent-to-own payment of $1,600, and heat for $100. We divide that by your gross household income, and in this example we're using $5,500 per month. So $2,200 divided by $5,500 equals 0.4 or 40%. So we look for a debt service ratio of below 40%. Above 40% would be considered no good. The reason for that is that it really means that you're spending over 40% of your income goes towards servicing your debts and your rent-to-own payment, and in the future it'd be servicing your debts and your mortgage payment. So some rough guidelines on how you can calculate some of these items at home whenever you're just considering our program. So how do I calculate the approximate property price I can afford through your rent-own program? As a rough guideline, 3.5 times your gross household income. Typically it's going to take around a $60,000 gross household income minimum to get into our program. Now just keep in mind your monthly debt obligations will impact this. Another question, I saw a house that I liked and the purchase price was $200,000. How do I figure out how much income I will need? So it's basically the reverse, $200,000 property divided by 3.5, and that will determine what your income, how much income you're required to have. So again, note that your monthly debt obligations do impact this. So if this makes sense, please go to our website and fill out our initial application online. No obligation, no junk emails, no annoying phone calls. You can also visit our website at www.prores.ca. You can see our email address there and our phone number. Please contact us at any time if you have any questions related to how we qualify you or anything to do with our rent-own program. So watch for lesson number 3 on the hidden costs of rent-own.